Today I'm going to be playing in Iron to teach you how to carry at the low end of the ladder without doing anything crazy and just by playing solidly fundamentally, right? So in case about 3 years ago, I've been challenger for over a decade at this point in every single season, and I've been maining Ahri for about 5 years, ever since season 10 when she was initially reworked, if I recall correctly. So we're playing in Iron. This is obviously a lower MMR game, and whenever I play at the lower end of the ladder, I make sure that I do not interact with the enemy laner. I let them get away with whatever they want to get away with, because I don't think there's a lot of value in me just absolutely out-trading someone at the lower end of the ladder. What I will focus very heavily on is playing on the opposite side of the lane as Katarina, consistently pushing waves and not getting punished while I'm on cooldown, while also picking up CS. I'm not going to be interacting with this guy at all. I'm going to be perfectly mirroring him on the edge of the lane to make sure that he can never trade with me and try to avoid taking any damage whatsoever. The ideal world is I have 0 damage on my or 0 healing on my Taste of Blood because I've never interacted with this guy. So the number one rule is you want to always be pushing during the early stages, or just basically at any point of the game. Pushing gives you a lot of control. It gives you tools where you can trade with the enemy laner. For example, here I could trade with the Katarina when he goes for this minion, and here I would have level 2 first, which would allow me to take a very, very winning trade against the Katarina. So that's why you always want to be pushing the first few waves. I'm going to do point in Q here. Against Katarina, you can take a point in E level 2. If this is something you would do against a lot of melee matchups where you want to make sure that they can't jump on top of you and take a very winning trade. It also gives you some options of landing a lot of harass under the tower. I'll be taking Q because my goal in this lane is not to trade with the Katarina. My goal is to push in every single wave. Now, of course, I could be punishing the Katarina way harder than I am. But what is the point of that? I also should say, this game is played in anywhere between Iron and Silver MMR. Because for some reason, once you get an Iron account, you get placed in Silver MMR games. Like, there's anywhere from Iron, Bronze, Silver in this game. So be aware of that. I'm not entirely sure where Katarina falls or where my bot lane falls. But it seems at the lower end of the ladder, matchmaking is a little bit funky. In the sense that Riot they just put Silvers against Irons, which doesn't seem fair. Okay, so she's trading with me. I will run away. Don't trade back with her. Here I have a window where I could very easily trade back against the Katarina because she is on cooldown, right? So she does not have any options of trading with me because she wasted all of her spells on that initial trade and I still had all of my spells up. I'm not going to take that window. I'm just going to back off and chill. You might also be confused as to why I did 2 points in Q. That is because that gives you a wave clear breakpoint as Ahri, where now 2 Qs is going to one-shot the casters, which just allows you to push a lot more easily. Of course, against melee champions, might not be ideal because they can jump on you like you just saw. Katarina has decided to jump on me quite a lot, and I'm gonna just ignore her and just hit the wave. I know you want to fight. I don't want to fight. I'll let her get away with this. It's all good. If she wants to get away with this, she can. But you'll notice, I'm up in CS despite the fact that I've never interacted with the Katarina. I'm not bullying her under tower. I'm not denying her CS. I'm doing nothing of the sorts. I think my Viego might have to lose his flash here. Okay, he is out. Let's just push out mid lane then. I understand, but I don't think we can actually play the Scuttle Crab, my brother. Just because of how bot lane state is looking. I'll push out mid lane first. Pushing out mid lane before you move is exceptionally important, because that means I now have a move timer where the Katarina has to go catch this wave and I can go help my Viego if he wants to fight. And otherwise I would be losing resources for this. Okay, are we gonna fight this? It looks pretty impossible. This is not. Do you have a spell for me maybe? Okay, charm the Warwick. Unfortunately, he got a black shield. I mean, all I can do is try to auto attack him to death. Looks like we got it. Who's next target? Katarina. Looks like we're aiming Morgana here. So we'll slap her as well. I don't have any mana. That's kind of the main concern here. W maybe is good enough. Triumph. That sucks. Well, so it goes. Katarina gets a ton of kills early game. That should also make the game entertaining. I think this game will play Blackfire Torch because the enemy team composition is on the shorter range of things, which means that we can very consistently have Blackfire Torch upkeep. Oh, she didn't. He runs teleport. She also had Dark Seal first. Oh, dear God, she's going to be ahead. You generate 8 gold while you teleport back to lane. That's why you saw me wait a little bit so I can pick up my Dark Seal. Yeah, Blackfire Torch is because the enemy team is on the shorter range of things, so I can have constant Blackfire Torch upkeep. And it's a lot easier to kite enemy team when you run Blackfire Torch because you will also be taking Cosmic Drive, which is constantly applied on Blackfire Torch. So there's that. We'll just continue shoving out mid lane. And Katarina does have a ton of kills, so we will have to try to avoid taking trades with her best we can. But I will immediately just be pushing this wave and then backing off and waiting. Not doing anything. Back off, make sure that we don't get hit by the Katarina. Then when my spells are up, I'll walk in, kill the wave, and then just leave. Here, obviously, I have opportunities to trade with the Katarina yet again, because I have killed all the minions and my spells are up again, but I'm not gonna trade with her, right? Like, the entire goal is that I don't trade with her. The entire goal is that I just push the wave and call it a day. Push the wave, call it a day. Should probably spam ping my bot lane back here, because the Katarina can easily roam bot lane with the Morgana, and she's not showing mid lane. Wanna shove out this wave. She is in all likelihood roaming. I don't think there's anything we can realistically do about that. Warwick getting invaded. Maybe I can help him. I'm gonna move. Okay, Warwick is dead. We will stay mid lane then. Very important. The habit that you need to get into when you're at the lower end of the ladder is you'll be pushing a lot, right? So once you've figured out how to push properly, how to avoid the enemy laner, how to actually get your minions while you're pushing, all of which are very important skills to learn, you're gonna need to start looking out at the minimap, figure out where you can roam. So the way to do that is after you push the wave, look at the minimap. Where do you want to roam? Bot lane here could be roamable. Top lane here could be roamable. Top lane actually looks pretty good. So now let's move our camera up here and see what's going on. And then while we're running up here, we need to make the decision of whether or not we're going to commit to the roam. Looks like Riven is already going to be dead. So I'm going to turn around and come back to mid lane. Oh, looks like she survived way longer than I thought she would. Problem is Katarina is going to run up here and then get a free kill on the Jax, I would imagine. So anticipating that, I'm going to just push out mid lane and try to deny her a wave. I would not have been able to respond to that play quickly enough anyway. That sucks, she gets a double kill. Well, maybe I now push out the wave, and then maybe I can run bot lane and make a play happen, because now the Katarina is going to have to come back mid lane to collect the wave. So maybe I can run bot lane. Pick that I am on my way here. I have level 7 as well. This should be killable. Now let's think about how we want to play this. We want to probably kill the Caitlyn first, so I'm going to ult this wall. Not going to use my charm, because I want to save that for the Morgana. And then we are just going to spam auto attacks on the Morgana. And then if she flashes away, I can chase her with my ult. But I have no interest in just using my ult for damage. Very important that you don't just randomly use your ult for damage. And you can see, we pushed out mid lane, and then we found a roam. And then we pushed out mid lane again, and then we found another roam, right? And this is how you just play Ahri mid. You just keep pushing and looking for roams. Katarina's up a full level on me. How has that happened then? I feel like I should not be this far down in XP. Okay, we'll just be a bit patient here. Very aware that when you are using spells to push out the wave, you are opening yourself up to be traded with. So make sure that you back off to not take too much free damage. Here, I could be slapping Katarina. Oh. Oh, can you get out maybe? Oh, I would prefer not to fight this if I'm very honest. Get out, please. Oh, you're just dead. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't have damage to kill him, right? Like, we don't have damage to kill the Warwick, I'm afraid. Like, you just have to get out. Katarina can roam bot lane here. I lost my wave clear breakpoint. Let's just shove this out and leave. This is crazy that you jump on me here, if I'm honest. Can chunk you out a little bit. No intention of actually trying to kill her. I'm gonna take my base regardless. Don't quite have enough gold for Blackfire Torch, which sucks. But I'm not going to stay for one more wave because the Katarina can absolutely murder me. So I guess I'll pick up boots instead of then come back to mid lane. Could pick up a refillable here, but I'm playing a very non-interactive style in mid lane, so I shouldn't really be taking damage if we're honest. I'm also against a melee matchup, which should be pretty free. This gives me a wave clear breakpoint when you pick up Faded Ashes alongside your Lost Chapter. I now have enough damage to one-shot the wave. You need to back off here. Oh, Katarina's going to pick up 800 more kills down here. So it goes. I will collect my wave here. She's getting a lot of like... a lot of free kills on windows where, yeah, just kind of unlucky, I guess, is all I can say. I had to take my base there, which obviously opens up Katarina to take a roam, and every single window she's had to roam, she has found free kills, which is very unusual, but so it goes. Sometimes that happens. I can take a plate in mid lane for it, and then I can go for a ward on the top side here. Looks like we're doing grubs, which is great. Make sure we get some vision on the top side here. My goal is going to be to try to chunk out the Katarina as much as possible. I want to make sure that she cannot take too many free roams. She is very, very strong here. So trading with her is going to be a bit awkward. I don't think I realistically can, but I can try to play this very non-interactive style. And then I want to show you how you can leverage this into actually just taking winning trades. My god, is she strong. I don't think I die here. Ah, I do. That sucks. Wow, she is strong. Yeah, ow. Youch. That was painful. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she has almost 2 items with a fully stacked Dark Seal at minute 10. So... slight miscalculation on my part. I knew she ulted there, I just thought I was okay, to be honest. I will TP mid lane. She will take a plate here. Maybe we can kill her. No, we can't. She doesn't even have a shutdown somehow. Not really sure what that's all about, Mr. Riot Games, but okay. Yeah, she is just very tanky. Like, that's the main concern I have, because she has quite a lot of XP, so she's quite tanky. I can't even threaten her. She's tankier than I am, but it's all good. We'll just continue trying to play this in very non-interactive style. She's gonna look for a kill on me with the Warwick here, so I'm just gonna shove the wave and then leave. I want to just continue doing this. Push the wave and leave. Warwick is bot lane. I don't think I can realistically help with this play down here, so instead I'm gonna try to trap the Katarina. I'm gonna anticipate she wants to run down here as well, and I'm gonna try to chunk her out. We can catch her here. She's not roaming. That sucks. Well, the bot play works out. I'm gonna come back to mid lane and shove out the wave. She could be running bot lane here. That's a teleport from Katarina. I cannot respond to this play, so instead I will stay mid lane and take plates. Hopefully they don't all die. They're all dead. That sucks. I get a mid lane plate. Dude, she has 2 items. Please don't die to this. I could run bot lane here, but I don't think there's anything to accomplish. Like, I don't think I will do anything down here. Viego should also just be out. Katarina is gonna come mid lane here and try to look for me. Never mind, Katarina stays bot lane. So I get 2 plates, which is nice. The bot play is sort of equal, and I get advantage mid lane, so it's not terrible. Could be way worse. I could run bot lane to try to kill the Katarina here, because she is quite low HP, or I could just continue slapping this mid lane tower, and Katarina will be forced to take a base before she can come mid lane, otherwise she can get one-shot by me. Or she has to call Warwick mid lane to try to get me out. So I get more free plates. If I can break this tower, that's awesome. Keeping an eye out here, because that's where Katarina would show up. Yeah, so she does show up. But she is low HP, so she should be a bit worried. My main concern is I can't actually, like, kill her from this HP threshold. I have to land a little bit more damage. Really? Am I just dead? Huh. Could try to play it. Missed spell. That sucks. If I hit any spell on her, she was probably dead. That really sucks. She could roam here. Am I gonna predict that she roams instead of taking wave? I think so. Charm Flash can kill her. Maybe play just out of vision and then look for a Charm Flash when she jumps in. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. But she will have to take her base here. So she will base now, I will base. We'll both come back to mid lane. She'll probably look for a roam. I'm gonna move into my Cosmic Drive. I want to get my tier 2 boots as well. And maybe even pick up HP, because I'm scared of Katarina. Let's just go more AP. Jax is splitting top lane. Very high likelihood that the Katarina is probably gonna run top lane to try to stop the Jax, which is then gonna free me up mid lane to threaten this tower. But you can see she has 10 kills and she is running around the map, but she hasn't broken the game yet. Don't get me wrong, she is very, very accelerated and very, very fed, but she hasn't given her teammates advantages yet, which is great. So she's gonna open mid lane again, I assume? No, she opens top. Great. She picks up another free kill. Warwick is mid lane. Well, that sucks. That means I have to leave. Really? I don't think I die here. But I am getting Warwick ulted, I guess. Am I dead? No, I'm not dead. I'm completely fine. So I guess I've been Warwick ulted, which means I can't take this mid lane tower. I'm gonna shove this out and then I guess leave, because Katarina is gonna come mid lane. We could try to trap this bot side bush. He has no ult. Maybe you can land a stun on him. Would be pretty big. Miss charm. I think this guy's dead. Does he die? He does. Don't know if I can kill her. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I was predicting that she would jump up to the Warwick. She went in instead. Oh my god, that was not pretty. Ay, ay, ay. Sometimes your fingers do not do what your hands want you to do. We're still equal in CS, which is okay. But I am down a full level now because she's picking up so much XP from these kills. Want to pick up a sweeper at this point as well, because we're going to be roaming quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, we're getting into a game where enemy mid laner is obnoxiously fed. And it is a Katarina. Yeah, I could TP mid lane here. TP mid makes a lot of sense. Allows me to threaten mid. I'm dead, I think. I don't think she one-taps me, to be honest. It is close, though. She doesn't quite one-shot me. Okay, we will just wait here. Play it slowly. Cue the wave. Maybe we can take some vision on the bot side of the map. Nope, Katarina. Like, if she ever gets on top of me, she just kills me. She's a full item up on me at this point. So we have to be very careful. And she has a fully stacked Darksteel. So she wants to try to jump on me. And I want to just try to bait her to jump on me. I can try to charm just to land a quick chunk and then leave. I'm just gonna have to take these very, very slow trades to try to junk her out. She should die here. Nice. That's great. Lucian gets the kill. How is that not a shutdown? I don't understand. I'm gonna take the mid lane tower, and then I'm gonna look for a play down here. Take mid lane tower. Maybe even push the next wave. Keep an eye out on the minimap because there's very high likelihood we'll have to run down here. My goal here is actually to run top lane after this if the enemy team decides not to contest, which it looks like they're not. So now I'm going to run top lane, pushed out mid lane. That means the enemy team is going to bleed one wave, and now I can run top lane and catch this wave that's up here as well. So the Riven doesn't get anything for this. So we've just come back into the game. Like, this is where the game swings back into our favor completely. Because Katarina died randomly on the mid wave, and she's the strongest champion on the enemy team, I get to take the tower, I get to deny the minions, we get the objective, and we don't bleed anything on the map for it. So I'm gonna just take top wave here. And now I am even with the Katarina in terms of XP. And I'm gonna slap the Riven a little bit. I could try to ult on her there, but she could also just be good enough to jump the wall. Katarina is bot lane, that means she's not top lane, that means I can continue pushing. Might be able to catch the Riven here. Just pretend that I don't see her. How is that guy worth 200 gold? How are you worth the same amount of gold as Katarina? How does that make sense? Katarina is bot lane again, so that means I have no one to really be afraid of on the top side. Morgana could come up here, Warwick could come up here, but I can ult away from all of those, and I feel pretty safe. If all of them come up here, then obviously I'm kind of in an awkward spot. I think I'm going to back off here because I can't really threaten this tower regardless because I have no wave. I assume someone is going to come top lane now to try to defend this tower, and they'll think that I'm up here, but I'll already be gone by then. And then we're going to run into our little funny tier 3 shoes. So someone is going to come top lane to defend this, anticipating that someone is going to run top lane to defend that. I'm going to run through mid lane to see if I can force a play here. Because I don't want my Jax necessarily stuck in a 1v1 against the Katarina. Don't get me wrong, my Jax is strong, but he's not 3 items strong. Katarina is basically 3 items. Looks like we want to force a Herald play here. My Jax has been called. I think he's dead. Yeah, he is. Feels pretty impossible to contest this now, doesn't it? Just sit back, collect mid waves. Looks like my team wants to come up and contest. They shouldn't. Should just try to play for this tower. I'm gonna walk up very, very aggressively here and grab this wave. I'm gonna assume that the entire enemy team is on the Herald and that they're just wasting time, in which case I can grab this wave and buy us some tempo. And now they're crossing into mid lane. If Warwick chases very deeply, I will ult. Looks like he is, so I will have to ult, I assume. Keep running. They're not doing Herald, which I'm very confused about. Okay. Okay, they're going for a full play on the bot side. But look at how much they're losing mid lane for this, by the way. And they didn't get a Herald. That's because I went to push mid lane, tried to drag them mid lane. Maybe we can loop around here and find an angle. Ooh, this feels a bit dodgy, does it not? I actually just want to run back to mid lane and keep pushing. I have an angle here. We might be able to find something. Chunk out the Warwick. I have no intention of all-inning here, to be honest. Maybe I do now. What's going on down here? Katarina dies. Slap the Morgana. Can kill her as well. Walk out here. Walk back in. If I have to ult, that's okay. Warwick got chunked out, so he couldn't join the fight. Now I'm gonna go push out mid lane. And then maybe I can even threaten this tier 2 mid. And notice, Jax wasn't even in this fight. This was just a pure 4v4. But the enemy team got so dizzy, and we managed to kind of pry them apart. I could try to take this tower, my concern being that if Warwick comes mid lane, I have absolutely no mana to stop him from just murdering me. He could also be running bot lane, right? He could also be running top lane. But I'll assume that he could come mid lane to try to kill me. Looks like he's going to run bot lane. I could teleport mid lane here to actually take this tower. I actually really like that idea, using my tempo as kind of a TP play here, because we're also going to be threatening the Herald. Wait, what's going on? What just happened? Okay, Morgana is mid lane. I'm not scared about Morgana, or not scared of Morgana. We can take this very easily. And then here, I want to run bot lane, and I want to just keep dragging the enemy team around the map. You'll notice, it's not like I'm farming 800 million kills, getting extremely fed, 1v9ing the game. I'm dragging the enemy team around the map, opening up windows for us on the map to create plays where we have numbers advantages. And that's usually how you come back. Okay, the entire enemy team is probably running bot side here because they're mad. But that, again, what does that mean? It means we're opening up opportunities in mid lane where we can apply pressure here because the enemy team is sending multiple people down to kill me. And now I'm actually going to trap one of these bushes because there's a world where I find the Caitlyn, and that would be great. I don't think she will react. She did indeed not react. So we find a one-shot on the Caitlyn, and then we wait. We need to go push this wave, apply some pressure. And then we need to ideally have someone on the enemy team try to hold my pressure here. And now I can trap this bush. My job is not to deal damage to the Atakan. My job is to stop the enemy team from contesting. So I'll wait here. I'll take my base. And then I'll run top lane to defend. Enemy team should feel uncomfortable trying to contest this, right? Because they don't have vision and I'm trapping. My goal there is not necessarily to one-shot whoever face checks that bush, by the way. But the goal is, if Katarina face checks, I can take like 60% of her HP. I did not realize we were going to do Drake. I might have just thrown the game. Let's hope that for some reason, the enemy team doesn't fight. Let's just pray. Looks like they won't. But that was very scary. Yeah, but my goal is not necessarily to one-shot whoever face checks. My goal is to chunk them out so they cannot join the fight. Because that is as good as one-shotting them. If Katarina has 30% of her HP, that's as good as completely removing her from the fight. Which gives us a 5v4. I'm going to continue pushing out top lane here. Because I want to collect resources. And then after I push this out completely, I'm going to walk through the enemy jungle. I'm going to sweep this area. And I'm going to see if I can create a pick on someone. I can actually push out the next wave as well, to be honest. I could try to catch the Riven or something. Usually when you break tier 2s, things get a little bit awkward in terms of how you want to play around and maneuver around the map. Because you have to push so far into the enemy territory to be able to apply pressure. And when I say apply pressure, I mean like threaten a tower or something like that. So I have to be very far up. But you can see I'm going to push this in, threaten the tower, and then I want to go somewhere else because I know that someone has to come top lane to try to defend this. Which means that I can leverage that numbers advantage into a potential play somewhere else on the map or to apply pressure somewhere else on the map. In which case, I'll run mid lane here. I have enough money for my death cap now. So we've completely stabilized with the Katarina, despite the fact that she has 13 kills, just because I'm collecting a lot of waves. Could catch this wave as well, but I have enough gold. Oh, looks like we have some very, very ugly macro here. The reason being is my Lucian is running bot lane. He should want to go mid lane instead. The wave is too far out bot lane for him to realistically be able to do anything. And I would love for him to come on this mid wave here. In which case I can pause. In which case I can stand around the side and wait for the enemy team to try to force a play onto mid lane, and I can try to look for a pick. So what I want to do here is I can't go bot lane, right? The wave is too far out. I can't go top lane. Jack's already top lane. So then I want to loop around mid lane. Try to take vision and try to see if I can force a proactive play around the mid lane. So I'm going to let Lucian stay on the mid wave. Very important you don't show during the step. And I'm going to see if I can trap the enemy jungle. Now again, I might not find a one-shot here. Very high likelihood that I will not kill whoever I'm trying to kill here. Or whoever I want to kill. But I can try to chunk them out, which would be good enough. Looks like we're not playing this at all. I could just try to go one-shot the Morgana as well. I would assume the enemy team has ran away. I don't mind popping an early ult. Redirect. That should be good enough. Yep, nice. Warwick is coming up here. Very important you pay attention to the minimap while you're fighting. Could try to chunk out the Katarina here. Miss my charm. Run away. We want to play this very, very slowly if at all possible. I actually want to continue applying pressure on the top side here because I don't have my ult, so I'm not going to be very useful in a fight. So I'd much rather just hold someone top lane here. Now I'm going to assume the enemy team are all going to run top lane because I don't see them on the mid wave. So I'm going to leave, I'm going to back off, and I'm going to wait. And I'm going to trap again. I'm going to sweep this area yet again, and I'm going to trap. And I'm going to continuously do this, and eventually someone is going to face check. I don't feel comfortable stepping in there. Okay? I don't feel comfortable walking up here either. We don't have that much vision. I now see Katarina on the map. I feel a little bit more comfortable. Because I know that I am at least not going to get one-tapped. Okay, we see Warwick here again. So now I want to walk up, push out this wave yet again. And that will probably drag everyone on the enemy team up here. But I have a decent amount of vision in the enemy jungle. Okay, the enemy team is not coming up here. They're all leaving. They're all down here. What does that mean? I see 4 champions on the enemy team on the bot side. I can very easily take this tower. Very, very safely take this tower. Very, very safely. Could pop my ult to kill the Riven, but I don't even think it's necessary. And I will keep pushing top lane. I will keep being that thorn in your side. And I will keep pressuring the side lane. And eventually, it will break. Eventually, the enemy team are gonna like just not match me or forget about me. Or they're gonna send too many people to match me. In which case, my teammates have advantage. But I'm gonna keep being very annoying on the side lane. And then eventually, I can leverage like any pressure that I will get into a pick. I actually want to sweep this area as well. We should probably try to play the Baron. But I have a sneaking suspicion someone is going to face check this. Because Warwick might want to get to his topside jungle. And then I can probably chunk him out and make him very annoyed. Well, yeah, I don't want to take the risk there. Could try to one-shot the Morgana. I'd rather just not. Magi's, because why not? I probably also want to get an Hourglass or a Banshees at this point. Could teleport. This is again the same idea. There's no reason for me to run top lane. We already have pressure there, so let's open through mid lane and let's think about which side we want to open towards. So where do we want to take control? Where do we think matters the most to take control? I hate that my Lucian is just taking every single jungle camp because that forces me to step up onto the mid wave, which I actually don't want to do. Could ult on Morgana here. Seems not bad. She will have Black Shield, but doesn't really matter. She will die regardless. Look for Cat. Hit the charm. She should die as well. Look for Kate. Nice. There we go. And then we eventually found it. Now we can just end mid lane. Need to make sure to grab the wave first. We need a wave to end mid lane, fellas. There we go. Very tough game. I got solo killed, which is crazy. I mean, admittedly, the Katarina did have 2 items when she or like 1.5 items to my half an item when she solo killed me. But regardless, well played by her. But you can still, like, the enemy laner can get very, very accelerated, and you can still make yourself incredibly useful in the game. And give yourself plenty of opportunities to come back. And then eventually you'll find these points. If you just keep trying and keep playing well, like, of course, I can be tilted about my team dying to the Katarina on repeat. But that's not going to help me actually win the game. Very important to just constantly think about how can I come back, how can I impact the game, and be, like, have a positive influence. And usually once you get 3 items, this is going to matter a lot. She had higher damage than me in the game. Consider the fact that the Katarina had like 11 kills at minute 10 and we won this game in 26 minutes. 2 wins. Okay, so he was smurfing, I guess. Either that or it's an inactive account. He might not be smurfing. He's just a psychotic player that plays very aggressively, judging by his champion pool. But well played to him. He just didn't try to accelerate his teammates enough, unfortunately. He was not really applying a lot of pressure either. He was running around getting free kills. But eventually, to accelerate the game, you need to apply pressure and then force numbers advantages. That's how you snowball a game. You don't snowball a game by running around and collecting free kills. You need to apply pressure to take objectives eventually. And just running around taking free kills is not enough. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, there's a link to a Discord in the down below. And yeah, go ahead and check that out. Hopefully you enjoyed. Have a good one. See ya. Bye, 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 bye.